Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. I'm going to talk about a little incident that took place to an elderly gentleman printing at home. He decided to use a smaller Canon desktop printer. I think it's one of the letter size or A4 size. I think it's in Europe, in the UK. So it would be an A4 size office type printer, but he's been using it to print photos with. And he stated that he was getting great results. All of a sudden, he started getting kind of greenish results. But if he used the plain paper choice on the printer driver, he was getting great prints. They weren't the greatest quality because he had to use plain paper. And plain paper choice does not allow you to use a very high resolution setting for your printing. But he was satisfied because the colors were correct. And so now he's going crazy trying to figure out why it is that when he chooses, say, Canon glossy paper or luster paper in a higher quality, he's getting greenish results. But he's getting correct, say, skin tone results with the plain paper choice. So when he uses the correct photo paper to print, he is using the ICC profile for it and getting the greenish results. Well, immediately I assume he knows what he's doing, and comes to mind that, maybe you did not turn off color matching. Well, apparently he did, and still getting green results with photo paper, but he's getting great results, just not as finely resolved. In other words, he's getting kind of a little grainy type quality because the resolution level cannot be raised very high when you use plain paper. What could it be? Okay, go back several videos ago. What did I tell you to do the very first time you see from what used to be good color results? In other words, balance, neutral, and all of a sudden you have a bias toward a color. What did I say to do? Run a nozzle check. He did not. He ran a nozzle check and comes back extremely embarrassed. I had a partially clogged light magenta channel. Well, sure, that's going to immediately cause a greenish print to appear when you try to use your photo paper. But what about the plain paper? Why is the plain paper still okay color-wise? Because the plain paper setting doesn't utilize the light colors, the light magenta or the light cyan. It only utilizes your regular CMYK, your black and your magenta and your yellow and your cyan. So those were okay. Those were flowing correctly. But when you switch over to photo paper, you then kick in the use of the lighter colors. And those are used predominantly more than the full strength magenta and cyans. So that was the cost. Plain paper was using magenta and cyan and yellow and black, but not the light magenta or the light cyan. When you switched over to photo, it kicks in those other two levels of cyan and magenta and allows them to be used at a higher proportion than the full strength magenta and full strength cyan. The reason for those lighter colors is to allow finer graduations or tonal transitions between colors. All right, just like grays allow you to do that in higher end printers as well. So that was it. So please, if you are getting weird color balance results, one day is okay, a week later it's not. Nozzle check, nozzle check, nozzle check. Did I say nozzle check? Yes. Oh yeah, run a nozzle check. Pow! Yeah, it's happened to me. Not long ago. I should have known better. All right, so thank you once again. Please don't forget that. Run a nozzle check. All right. In fact, you should run a nozzle check every week. All right. Thank you once again. Please subscribe, share, and like. Remember, this little, very silly problem can be solved easily by using one of the main built-in functions on your driver, and that is your printer nozzle check. So use it. Thank you once again. Until the next time, happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.